Our hot tubs for therapy or for entertainment? Coming up on the Fraudcast.
You are now tuned into the. You are now tuned into the. You are now tuned into the Fraudcast.
So, I thought this episode this week was amazing. But
no clothes in the hot tub.
no clothes in the hot tub, but better wear clothes in the house because you're not allowed any hanky-panky.
Oh my God. We'll have to start with that because I literally had to watch the scene again. And I'm thinking in my head, does she mean like wear your bathing suit? Because that's what they're for, is getting in the hot tub? Or do they really like have family get-togethers where they're all just naked in the hot tub, chatting with each other, having therapeutic moments? So, yeah.
Yeah, hi. Welcome to the Fraudcast. I'm one of your hosts, Katrina.
I'm the other one, Hanakawa.
And together we're dumpster diving, so you don't have to. Kind of. I mean, I guess we are this week a little bit.
We're skinny dipping, so they don't have to this week.
Yeah,
apparently that's how you fucking do it.
That's right. High five, virtual air high five. Yeah. So the big story this week on the show, I think personally, was the Brandon Julia family Brandon dynamic. And there's just so much to talk about there that I don't even know where to start. So we're talking about the hot tub. Let's talk about the hot tub.
Yeah.
Let's just go right into let's just jump right into the hot tub, much like Brandon did, with no clothes on as required by the rules of the house.
So yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just say, so the parents go out of town, leave the farm for the night, and Brandon and Julia take advantage of it, and they immediately get naked and jump in the hot tub, and then they do other things, presumably. But then the next day, mom comes back, and at first she was like, "Come out here," and pointed to like a flap of the cover, kind of tucked under of the hot tub cover.
That was like the evidence.
Oh my God. And she like flipped out on him and asked him if they used the hot tub and if they wore clothes. And at first I, like probably most of America, thought she was asking because she wanted to know if they, were having sex in the hot tub because, oh my God, gross, right? And, oh my God, were you naked? But no, as it turns out, she's saying the water is cloudy because they must have worn bathing suits or clothes or something. And that fabric softener from the clothes makes water cloudy and she has to drain the hot tub after every time.
I feel like, how much clothes does it take covered in fabric sheets to make a hot tub that size cloudy?
I think she's crazy a little bit, I think, is what the reality is.
I don't know. I mean, like, it played out, that whole scene, because, I like my cheesy ass Lifetime movies. Mm-hmm. It played out like a scene of a Lifetime movie. Oh and she's God. Like, you know what else you can't do in the tub, Brandon? And she's like, Julie's like sitting there with the prisoner eyes, like,
I know.
Get the fuck out of here. How do I run? I thought she was going to offer words of wisdom, like, don't have sex in the hot tub because there's a suction effect that's not going to be pleasant for you.
Or she's going to get a, bacterial vaginosis from it because, chemicals up her cooter.
Exactly. Or I thought maybe she was going down the lane of it's okay to be naked in the hot tub and do things because the hot tub water is going to kill the sperm before it gets her pregnant. I honestly thought there was going to be more information than just...
There was a million other things that we thought it was going to, like, directions we thought it was going to go.
And poor Julia, mind fucked as I was just sitting there like, what the fuck? I can be naked in the tub, but not in the bedroom. He's like, and Brandon, of course, is sitting there like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I'll go get the colander so we can sift the clouds out.
Oh my God. I thought you were going to say sift out the sperm bomb.
The spermies.
The white globs.
Why are people like this? Anyways, yeah, that whole scenario. So you had mentioned something that pivots off of some tea, not tea, rumor /
God.
not confirmed. We don't know. Stumbled across it, hit us in the face. Where do you think the parents went for that one day? Based on the rumors.
Okay, yeah. So these are, well, I don't want to know what other kinds of things are happening in that therapeutic, not entertainment hot tub that she has to drain it all the time. Because based on the information, I won't say it's information. It's like fourth hand hearsay gossip. Okay, that I stumbled across in a Facebook group that I'm part of that was quoting to another Facebook group that was quoting to like Reddit or something, where somebody popped up and said that they knew Mother Brandon and dropped a bunch of here are things I know about them gems. And I just really want to stress that we have absolutely no verification for any of this. Okay. Like this is not confirmed anything, right? This person, whoever they may be, said that the family is doomsday preppers, and that's what the farm is for. It's for the end of times.
That I can believe.
Right. I mean,
that's totally normal. That's not out of the blue for me.
They're in bumfuck Virginia. That's the kind of not unexpected out there. And that not only are they doomsday preppers, but they're also swingers.
Now that's exciting to me. Like most people look at it and go, oh, for shame. Oh, that's terrible. I'm like,
ooh, they just got interesting.
They just got interesting. And then I don't understand why they're so strict on these two young kids in love. Like then it all boils down to like some, mommy.
Arcane, they're not married.
Exactly.
Moral code. Which, I mean, what? If they're having these naked swinger hot tub parties for therapy, whatever that means, is it bad that when she first said it was for therapy and not entertainment, I thought she meant like they put horses in there or some shit?
Well, I thought, okay, I understand therapy, right? The hot water, maybe for muscles. They work on the farm, hard work. Swinging is a full-time job itself. You need a little therapy for that. But then
physically demanding.
Have an entertainment hot tub for Brandon or something. Like, you know how they have the kiddie section of the pool?
Oh my God.
They can have like the Brandon section that's easy to drain. You just pop some more water over there. She made it seem like he was intimate with the hot jet since he was a teenager or something.
Oh my
God. I've had to drain that thing so many times. Like, how many fucking women have been over here?
I'm guessing it's if this rumor is true, then it's more of their swingers activities that are causing problems with the suction.
No, because usually at those parties, when you get to the door, you know how people take your coat, they take your clothes.
Right. I'm saying like there's probably like group sex happening in the hot tub.
No, there's not enough room for that.
Oh,
the hot tub was small.
It was like a normal size hot tub. I thought
that's
you could
like
have a couple of people in
and Hazel group.
You could have a couple of people there. Oh Lord. What about so the conversation that they had on the porch or whatever, which first of all, why did they require them to come outside where it's cold? Why couldn't they have had this conversation inside? Why'd they have to go outside?
Better sound. Better lighting.
I guess. I don't know.
It looks better to be arguing outside than inside.
They make them as uncomfortable as possible by
if you're cold, you're frustrated, right? So you're gonna argue more.
Ugh. So this conversation was mom and dad telling Brandon he's basically like he's not pulling his weight at the farm and he needs to shape up. But that's not how it came out. That's not what they said. They ultimately said like, okay, she's not waking up, Julia's not waking up, but you at least have to come out. And he's like, well, I go and bring her tea and then she doesn't let me come out, which why the fuck is he throwing her under the bus?
Because he's not going to make it seem like he made the choice to stay. Instead of wording that, I brought her her tea. I brought her her tea and didn't decide to come out, or I brought her tea and we, fucked around for a little bit.
Just being lazy, like with her.
She won't let me. She won't let me. It's just him placing the blame somewhere else. That's common.
God, he's such a pussy.
No. He's a mama's boy. There's a
Yeah.
difference.
So
Don't shame the pussy that way.
good point. Good point. Fair. So then dad is like, well, okay, ultimately, then you don't get to bring her tea. Like, that's not like Brandon's an adult. Like, tell him he's not pulling his weight. Like, that's what you need to do. And he needs to figure out how to fix it.
Why is he bringing her tea?
I think it's sweet. HLM brings me coffee in the
It's
morning.
extremely sweet, but like if it's preventing him from doing his fucking job.
That's what dad needs to say is like, look, you're not doing your job. These are what your responsibilities are and you're not doing them. You need to you need to figure your shit out.
I
But
mean,
instead,
she didn't come there to fucking work. In fact, she can't work until she's got the permission to work. So
Right.
if they're like expecting her to go out there and be, on the farm and canning shit, they should have had that expectation out there before she went out there. I would have been
Right.
staying in an Airbnb that we're doing the interviews in.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, like the whole like dynamic of dad telling him, well, I guess you just can't bring her tea in the morning, because instead of saying, well, if you bringing her tea is causing you to not come out and do your chores on time, then, either you drop her tea off or you don't make her tea, or what, you're an adult, figure it out. You have responsibilities, do them. Like the whole, there's
learn
so
how
many
to
things.
more efficiently do it in the morning so you can get your job done. Because that's how life's going to be. You're going to have to go to work, right?
Right. Figure it out. But so, and then
You got to boom, boom quicker.
well, Julia makes a good point too. She's like, you can't be with me in the morning and we can't be with each other at night. So when can we be with each other? Dad would be solving his morning, some of these issues, if they stayed in the same room, because then they'd be getting the cuddle time before nighttime and, before they fell asleep and or middle of the night, whatever, they'd be getting that time and he wouldn't be trying to grab it when he can by bringing her tea in the morning. But he's like not allowed to cross the threshold of Julia's room. And we know it's Julia's room because they have signs on the doors with their names.
I think that's adorable. Just in case are there other siblings in the house? Who else is in the house? Just them?
It's just them, I think.
That's right. Yeah. I'm getting those vibes that like there's other people in the house and they have to remember who's in the room.
Although, God.
Oops.
There's also another rumor I heard that I haven't run down, so I don't know what it is, that the father has been married 3 times before, and at least one, if not more, of these marriages resulted in children. So Brandon has some older siblings floating around. So, but no, if this is
floating around and my head goes back to the hot tub.
They don't
like
live
he might
there.
have other non-siblings floating around too.
Oh,
Thanks to that therapy session last night. Anyways,
therapy session.
It's like a house of horrors. I'm actually like invested.
It's the murder farm.
It's so crazy. I'm just like, this is what they're setting it up to make Julia feel like she's crazy. Do you remember the skeleton key?
No. What?
Okay. Anyways,
What skeleton key?
the skeleton key, the movie Skeleton Key,
Oh no.
where the whole goal is making the main character believe in voodoo, and then they can perform the ceremony on her to steal her soul and take her body.
Oh, yeah, no, don't know this.
Anyways, I watched
Okay.
I watched too much trash. But yeah, I see her in that situation. I'm like, this is actually a movie I've watched. And they're going to like take her into the bunker for, meat in case they need it in 30 years.
Right.
But
oh,
I don't know.
It is. It is straight
Preppers
up.
is fine. I have a prepper mentality myself, especially when I'm like, I need all the canned food.
Oh God.
But I guess we'll just have to see where their story goes.
Oh God. That's like up there with the aliens beliefs. So
I like the aliens, man. You gotta have some fun, right?
okay. Speaking
Have a
of
little fun.
aliens.
Have fun. Aliens.
Mike of the aliens and Natalie. Here, I have a question for you, Hannah Caller. What is your IQ? What did you not get tested?
I
in
don't
school?
know.
Didn't you get tested in school?
Did they test people for IQ? They do, but I don't know what it is.
Well,
My IQ was enough to get the job I got.
you're a low class, and no. So that was Natalie's was, what did she say? It was like 110 or something, which was I don't know, which is apparently it's average. So Natalie talking about we don't respect each other to Mike, but she's the one being all, what's your IQ? You're low class. What class was your ex-wife? What was your ex-wife? You're drunk. You're scaring me. Don't touch me until you've lost 10 kilos. Rice, not pasta this late. I don't want you to get more fat. Like, what the fuck, Natalie?
Do you think that all her commentary is real, or is it just supplemented scripting? Because I remember there was a video, or her random video she put out where she was saying TLC's making her look like a religious crazy baby crazy lunatic.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why when I watch this, it's really hard for me to believe it's actually her having these opinions.
Yeah.
Especially since I'll say this because someone had said we didn't warn them about spoilers in here. So there's spoilers.
Yeah.
There's spoilers. You got 3 seconds. Okay. Especially since they're married. Right. So obviously his IQ is enough. She says all this stuff. He smells, he has low IQ, he's fat, he eats meat, he likes rice. Where's my ring?
I know.
I'm just like, what? I'm not sure if you want it so you can just have it or does it mean more? I don't understand.
Yeah, there's a segment that they in that scene, it is somewhere in that scene where she says something and it's like she almost half smiled, and then he responded, but he kind of smirked, and I was like, those are the telltale signs that they are acting,
being fed lines, right?
Yeah, they could have said okay, Natalie, play up this angle, Mike, play it like you don't give a shit about her, and they taking it to the extreme.
Right, because Natalie is an actress. I think there was clips of her in some kind of horror movie where she's driving down the street or something. So acting isn't foreign to her. Mm-hmm. It would just be interesting. Of course, we'll never find out. It'd be interesting to know how much of this is actually coming from her and how much is, expected from her,
right,
from producers. But it's insanity. And I kind of like their story just because of that. I really wish that they would throw in some kind of alien angle. I want their wedding to be UFO themed.
Oh my God.
And her wedding dress would be tinfoil. I'm not going to get that wish. Not going to get it. But
that'd be amazing.
It'd be worth watching.
On the topic of them being married, so I went and I ran this down a little bit the other night because I was like, where did we see this, right? And I don't remember where it first popped up, but I was looking, and Sarcasm has an article about it when it first came up, which was December, I think. And what it was they found somebody somewhere, whoever the first person was, found their applications for a marriage license. I don't know, and I didn't actually spend much more time because it was late or something, that actually find their wedding certificate, their marriage certificate. And I don't remember if I originally have actually seen it or if it was just the application for the marriage license that
all I've seen floating around is the application. And just from looking in the past or just knowing how it works, it's usually a lot harder to get the actual certificate because that's not something that they hand out to the public, but you can see the application in some states depending on what their laws are. And
the application was in March, I want to say. And
right. It was the middle of March.
It was the application was the 18th for a ceremony on the 20th or something like that. It was a couple of days. So, and I think you need to know to get copies of the licenses, and it depends on the county, right?
And that's if you want to put that much effort in, right? Because that's where I stop. I don't care that much,
right?
Am I call and ask for someone's wedding certificate?
Am I gonna
they got Yeah.
give out actual money at this to go get it? No.
No. From working in like a records request and just kind of like some of the loops and hoops that we put people through to get records. I'm just like, I don't have time for that. They're married. We know that. And so that's why I'm wondering if all of the drama was really as dramatic. We know better.
Yeah.
But it makes for interesting story with them, because they're almost playing her off to just be insane.
Yeah.
Like the label that's being stuck on her from her how she's being portrayed in the show is literally crazy.
Yeah.
Because no one really understands where she's going with her thoughts. You know, if he's such a terrible person and he's fat and all this stuff, but she never says, but I'm staying here and want to be with him because I love him so much. It goes back to, where's my ring? Me. I'm bored. I don't have this. You aren't doing this. You aren't being my idea, this and that. And I'm just, holy shit, what does it take to please you in the 90-day world?
What do they like about each other?
Yeah, exactly. Why are you together again? Like,
I understand some conflict, but come on, there has to be something that you like about each other enough, at least. And they don't seem to show any of that. So I don't know. I don't know what, where they're going to go with all of that. I like that, she was like, I looked for the ring. Like, so she tore the house apart looking for the ring. And he's like, oh, did you find it? No. All right.
You know where it is? It's inside one of the Ancient Alien DVD cases.
Somebody's like, oh, he should give the ring to Bo to pawn for beer money.
No. That's how he's going to propose to her. He's going to open the box and it's going to be sitting on the disc holder. Fuck. Why can't they do that? That's entertainment. Do we have anything else with them?
I don't think so. That was their big thing. So when this pandemic started, Hetero Life Mate, he started working from home and on a completely different schedule. So this meant that I was now in charge of planning and cooking dinner for the entire family. So this freaked me out, especially when a trip to the grocery store is stressful and I just really can't be going. But then I found Gobble. Gobble is the meal kit delivery service designed for real life. I've got one kid in virtual school and one kid in in-person school, and Hetero Life Mate is working all kinds of wacky hours. But with Gobble, no matter how crazy your schedules are, we can still get a nutritious, flavorful, homemade dinner on the table where I sit down with all of the kids because it only takes 15 minutes.
Definitely. And I mean, Gobble does all the time-consuming work for us. They pick out the healthy quality ingredients. One of my favorite, they pre-portion and prep the ingredients, like even chopping up the vegetables for you. You just pick the meal from Gobble's extensive dinner menu each week, including a variety of flavors, classic dishes, global recipes, and delicious vegetarian options. Plus, they do have a line of lean and clean recipes that have low calorie and low carb options.
And the Gobble box is delivered fresh right to your doorstep. It's so easy to prepare. It's ready to serve in just 15 minutes. And I'm telling you, Gobble is a life-changing service. It is such a life hack.
Plus, you can skip delivery weeks or cancel the service at any time.
They're offering our listeners this fantastic limited time deal, which is 6 meals for just $36 plus free shipping. That's dinner for 2 for 3 nights for just $36. Great way to try this. And it's only available if you use the code FRAUDED. To get this special offer now, go to gobble.com/frauded. That's gobble.com/frauded for 6 meals for just $36. Oh God. Okay. What else? Tariq and Hazel had the conversation about Minty, and he blamed COVID. And so that spawned everything is, because of COVID. I did this bad thing because of COVID.
2020 was a crazy year.
Right. The first thing that got me about this whole thing is just so apparently Hazel went through his phone, or the storyline is that Hazel went through his phone. And I firmly believe this is all storyline and not really the way it all happened and went down. Because they're totally playing up this threesome Minty angle, Hazel wants a girlfriend thing for story purposes. So he's like, well, I wish that I would have had the opportunity to have told her before she went through my phone or whatever. Dude, you've had the opportunity. It's like, if only, Hazel, you'd seen her and talked to her before this exact moment. Like, come on, dude.
What if we did the novel idea of deleting the fucking messages? I'm like trying to go down to the core problem is you left the messages on your phone.
Well, you sent the message to begin with. That's the core problem.
I mean, that is the problem. But once you fucked up, once you took the step and crossed the line, delete the message if it truly is like, okay, I didn't really mean to do that. Fuck it, whatever.
Well, clearly that's not the case. I messaged her.
No, it's just for the storyline because there's nothing else exciting about these two for TLC to show on the show.
Right. And he's sitting there telling the camera, I have this thing I have to tell her. And he's telling the camera. So obviously talking about it's not a problem.
Right. Because he's going to find out anyways. But we're going to have it found out through her looking at his phone, which is...
This is what I was going to ask. What about just the concept in general? We've seen it with her. We've seen it with, other couples here and there. You see it in real life all the time. I went through your phone and I saw this. Like, it depends on your relationship, I guess. I personally don't have anything to hide in my phone. And I remember watching, so I was watching Married at First Sight one season. This is back when Hetero Life Mate and I used to watch it together. And there was one exercise where these couples had to do where they had to give each other their phones and let them go through them. And some couples had no problems with it. Other couples were like, and that's sort of a, it's a contrived situation in these Married at First Sight couples. But Hetero Life Mate and I looked at each other and we basically like tossed each other our phones like, yeah, go for it. I don't care. Like, I don't have anything to hide from you. And so I don't have any need to go through his phone, nor do I want to, but I don't have any suspicions or any reason to be going through his phone and looking at his emails, looking at his text messages. I don't care the conversations he's had with his brother or his ex-wife I don't care. So what are your thoughts on that in general as a concept?
It depends on what your paranoia is, right? If you're just a jealous person and you're going to accuse them of everything and you're going to go through their phone searching for trouble, that's when you're going to find it, right? Because whatever you're searching, you're going to find something that you don't like.
Okay.
I've been in the position where I had the feeling that I had to search through a phone. Mm-hmm. And I had good reason. And what came out of it was...
You were right. There was a reason.
What I was right. There was a reason, right? Right. In the relationship I'm in now, I don't have the fucking energy. I don't have a reason to look, and that's kind of where it stays, and that's exhausting. So, but I'm putting my mind in someone who's having a long distance relationship. There could be some mistrust, especially if there was some in the past.
Right.
I think with the 90 Day folks on the show, they haven't given themselves a chance to really get to know each other. So they're kind of strangers, kind of not, right? Like they chat.
They haven't lived together.
But you haven't lived together. You haven't developed that physical trust. I think that.
Have we been podcasting together too long?
Maybe. But I feel that way. Like I don't think you should do it. I think if you're suspecting something, your first step should be confronting the person and letting them know. And if there seems to be deception, then there might be further steps you should take. If you feel like you're making yourself sick going through someone's emails, someone's phone calls, through someone's Facebook messages, searching for anything, that's probably a sign that you need to seek, I don't know, counseling.
That's kind of my thought. Like if certainly there are relationships, I've been in them, most prior to cell phones being a thing because I'm so old. But like, I've definitely been in relationships where there's not been trust, on one side or both sides. And if given the opportunity, I would certainly have gone through a phone, right? There's a lot of times in my past, young college days, et cetera, where if I had a phone, if cell phones existed when I was in college,
You would have fucking sank you.
I would have, oh God, thank God social media didn't exist when I was in college. I mean, I don't remember a lot of those days as it was, and I really don't need to be reminded. But like, I would have been like kept a tight fucking rein, like, you know, double factor authentication on my phone so that nobody else could get into it. Cause I'm sure I would have been doing shady ass shit. Right. I get the need for it, but I feel like that if you are in a situation where you're afraid of somebody looking at your phone, or you feel the need to be looking through their phone, there's obviously a bigger issue at play that needs to be addressed.
Right. And I mean, some people do the whole search of their phones because they are guilty themselves. Mm-hmm. Maybe they want to make themselves feel better. They're projected just a little bit. But yeah, that's my opinion. I think everyone's going to have a different side on it, depending on what their personal experiences are. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah, I guess my final thought is I'm just so fucking glad there wasn't social media or cell phones when I was in college.
There was, but there wasn't such an attached, like I had a cell phone, but the cell phones when I was in college didn't do what the cell phones do now.
Right.
Like the uploading, the instant, like if I wanted to watch a video, I'd have to open it, set the phone down, go take a shower, maybe cook, and then I could watch the video on my phone.
I remember
otherwise
the very first cell phone that I had that was capable of text messaging. I was living in Florida, so baby Fraud had to have been a year and a half old because he turned 2 while we lived in Florida, and we didn't live in Florida longer than like a year or so, something like that. So, and he's 17 now. So that's how long ago it was, or how recent it, depending on your perspective, it was that. And that it was like the person at the store, the kiosk or whatever, was trying to show me, because it was like the T9 kind of texting where you had to go through each
and
number,
hit it, yeah,
hit it 3 times to get the whatever, the C and all that. People are listening, going, "What? Huh?"
Most our age will remember.
Yeah,
the young
our
ones
age,
probably be like, "What?"
Yeah, but I'm sure, yeah, they know. I mean, baby Fraud probably, or baby step Fraud probably knows because the YouTube shit she watches references a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, they have the phone nostalgia.
Yeah,
but pivoting off of being able to instantly upload things, I think 90 Day is also finding that issue with cast members that want to go on a rant, and then try to quickly delete, like we saw with Stephanie. And so you have a little bit of, I don't know if to call it tea, a little bit of news, a little bit of insight.
Okay, so Stephanie posted, she posted something, I can't remember what it was that she posted, but her caption underneath it was, "My new motto after this reality TV stuff, only believe half of what you see and hear." And her hashtags are, "They can go fuck themselves," "Pay me what you owe me," "Care about your cast," and "Manipulated beyond belief," and "See you in court." She later commented in that same thread, "I love the hashtags, these clusterfucks that work for this company." And this is all quoting you guys. "These clusterfucks that work for this company are going to wish they never deceived me. I not only was raped while filming, but manipulated to keep filming after I begged to get off set after being bitten hundreds of times by sandflies. But no, they just needed a romantic dinner filmed with Ryan. I spend half, I imagine she meant half, not half, my time in a hospital now, hooked to IVs for the inflammation from the allergic reactions I had. They are unwilling to pay all my medical expenses. My attorney started legal action today. Stay tuned, ! End quote. Where do we start?
I don't know where there is to start. I mean, so it's a little early. Maybe, how many episodes are we in now?
Oh, God.
5?
Maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it's semi-important. Like, I'm used to this kind of post and delete kind of thing in the last few episodes, but
7 episodes in.
Okay, that's fair. I guess I expect this. Like all of the 90-day people go through that roller coaster, and their show's about to start. They're posting, they're happy, they're commenting, they're what's the word? Promoting their season, right? They see themselves on it, and then they start seeing when the edits change, who's getting the good edit, who's getting the bad edit. And then it's all downhill from that. And we get the clarifying posts, the long stories, the tags, the tea, the screenshots
from those cast members who
and her
gets who have apparently not read their contracts that say we're going to humiliate you and make you look bad.
Yeah, but it's about sharing your story, right? First and foremost, that print's really small, and it's in between two other paragraphs that are positive. They kind of made like a shit sandwich with it.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's for me. I don't know. Like she said, it was uncomfortable filming for her. She was getting bitten by sandflies. I guess for me, if I were the producer of that scene, I would have said, okay, well, let's change it up to make it a more comfortable setting. I guess if that was the case,
you're a nice producer. Like these,
I am a nice producer. Like, why wouldn't you make the person you're filming feel comfortable? Right?
Because TLC doesn't give a shit.
My God. But then also in contracts, and I know this because I've had to write a few myself for my services, photography and such, videography and weddings. If you slip and die while I'm on the job taking your photos, and it has nothing to do with like something I did to you, like I didn't push you off the cliff. I forgot what this clause is, but like the
indemnity clause.
Yes, exactly. It's a very morbid thing to have to insert into a contract.
You're indemnifying yourself against harm and death and all those
it's in
things,
there.
yeah.
And trust me, I've had people want to do photo shoots who do stupid shit, and I'm like, I'm so glad. Like, yeah, they want to do like a handstand on the edge of the rock on the Grand Canyon. And I'm like, I am not.
I'm going to be photographing your death.
I'm just photographing this, but I'm letting you know that you do you over there. And I'm going to try and snap a picture. But I don't know how deep TLC contracts go. Like, she was getting bitten by sandflies. I don't know if Ryan was getting bitten by sandflies, and then having to end up in the hospital. Like that's a lot. And I don't know if TLC would be on the hook for that. And I don't know if she would win against TLC because they have a gigantic legal hammer that they like to slam down.
Right. So here's my sort of legalistic thought pattern behind it. And this comes, I don't practice this kind of law, but I took torts in law school. So I 10 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever it was. When you have something, where you're trying to get somebody on the hook for damages, right? Which is what she's trying to do here. She's trying to sue TLC for the damages. She wants them to pay her medical bills, she said, are their fault. You have to show some kind of causation. We call it but for causation, which is but for what TLC producers did, she wouldn't have gotten hurt.
Right.
And had to go to the hospital. Now, were they just filming what she was doing anyway? And she would have gotten bitten by those hundreds of sandflies and they would have gotten inflamed and allergic anyway. Because if she was already allergic, if she was going to get inflamed anyway, and nothing that they did caused it to get worse, they're not on the hook. But if it was only because of what they did, i.e. forcing her to do this, that, or the other thing, and that caused her to get injured in a way that she wouldn't otherwise have, then they'd be on the hook for some or partial. And this is just general, right? Like liability laws vary by state. I did personal injury liability law as a paralegal a million years ago, but there's how you allocate the liability depends. But ultimately you also have what the contract says. And that goes back to what you said, your point about the indemnity clauses. So,
right. So, unfortunately, we have her side of the story. We always hear we need more sides of the story if it really matters. Whatever her legal goals are, I hope that she comes out successful in the end. Whatever she's suing him for, if I just hope I hope it settles good for her. I'm like one of those, like, I'm cheering for you, because I feel like, if a judge is going to look at things, they're going to see all angles of the story, and they're going to make their decision.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's always interesting to hear, the stories of behind the filming. Some people get really nice producers.
Yeah.
Some people don't. I remember some cast members would brag about their producers being so amazing to them, and then go on a rant about how, well, only some were, the rest of them were complete garbage. I mean, the producers are there to get money. The producers are cycled out. Yeah, and they're cycled out just as fast as the liners in the trash cans.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many producers that come in and out of filming. There isn't just like 5 that do every show. There's so many of them.
Right. I mean, it'll be interesting to see whether it's like, I feel like it would be a contract action before it's going to be a tort action, but that's, who knows? I do hope that she talks more. She has since deleted these posts. So, I don't know if, the TLC
Probably for the best.
legal hammer came after her or whatever, but with her threats, because like that didn't work out so well for baby girl Lisa. I know Mark and Nikki, which was like season, I can't even remember, 2, 3, 4, something like that. Mark was the one who bought the exact same car for Nikki that his ex-wife had. And that whole thing, they sued TLC because he felt they got a bad edit, and they lost. The judge basically laughed him out of court because of the contract. So, I didn't work out too well for them. So I wonder, what angle she's taking, if she is in fact suing him, or she's not just saying that because people on the internet like to say, you'll be hearing from my lawyer all the time, when it's not actually true. But will be interesting to see what comes of that and what other allegations she's making, because she's talking about being manipulated and all these things.
There was a lot of stuff that came out with that. So, and I'm always one to, if you're seeking legal assistance, you might want to just keep everything down and pursue it, and please keep it off Instagram, please.
Yeah, don't go on social media, because your lawyers will be like, don't, because that can all be used against you. Same with marriages or divorces. You guys, if you're going through divorce, don't start blasting shit all over social media, because it can be used in court. Anyway, real briefly, want to touch on Amira and Andrew. Yeah,
was there anything new that popped up since?
Nothing that we didn't already know. We got to see Amira, and it looked like she was back in Amsterdam at a hotel, because she got turned around, and we still don't know why she was deported. The paperwork said no passport, but we know she had a passport. So we don't know why it said that, what it was about her papers or whatever. A lot of speculation that was because she didn't have a return ticket. And so they suspected the plan, she was going to, go to the United States or whatever, blah, 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 blah. She's a French citizen, I believe. So she should be able to get into Mexico anyway. We don't know exactly. The big talk is, Andrew sitting around the hotel not doing dick to help her. And, the question is, what could he have done? Could he have done more? Could he have gotten, somebody who speaks English to help him? Could he have talked to this, that, the other thing? The other thing is, she talked about how he kind of manipulated her into going by basically saying, if you love me, you'll do it. Like, she didn't want to really, but he said, if you don't do it, then, I'm going to be hurt. Like, let me see. It says, I never wanted to go to Mexico. He tells me I'm free to make my decision, but then he tells me if I don't do it, he's going to resent me forever, which I think is manipulation bullshit 101. But so that's really what we got from them. So that's kind of the talk with them. I don't really know that there's much else to say. Some people are like, well, she's an adult. She made the decision to go. She's equally culpable. I don't know. I don't think Andrew's coming off great in this whole thing.
Kind of not. And I think, in my scrolling down of Facebook, I think maybe an ex of his kind of popped up too.
That's right.
As an ex, I take exes with a little more than a grain of salt, but I still know that, there's a lot of chatter in this season. There's just like so much everywhere. I don't know how to hone in on it, but if it gets a little more formed, then I think it'd be worth to talk about. But right now it's kind of in its like random post somewhere here said this, and I don't want to drive too deep into that.
Yeah. So some alleged ex popped up. If that story, like you said, if it forms, it gets traction, then we'll see what else it may say. But that's where we're at with them so far. And then that's it. That's really it. That's all. I mean, I think, we had some Rebecca and Ziad this episode too, but there wasn't much to their story. Like she got up and went to work, and then he kind of just wandered around the apartment and talked to his mom.
It kind of looked like he was squatting. The way it was
I know. There's nowhere for him to
TLC
sit.
is wrong for having that.
He
that
made coffee in a saucepan.
Oh my God.
Rebecca, you should have at least left coffee for the guy. But
it's not a shed, right?
It's not. It's a nice, and he said that. He's like, no, this place is great. It's huge, and there's a lot. I kind of liked the urban sort of.
I think he saw the potential.
Feel.
Yeah, he saw the potential. It had a very nice exposed loft look that people like. You furnish it. It's lovely. Mm-hmm. We know that from spoilers or whatever. They at least have a bed.
Yeah.
Because I saw them putting it together on Instagram.
I do. I remember that. And they get a dog.
He won't be laying.
And a bird.
Yeah, he won't be on the mattress for long. They have a whole bunch of stuff in that apartment. So I feel
like she just moved in and hasn't gotten the stuff out of storage because she like literally just moved in. Somebody reached out to me and said, so there was a scene where they were showing her saying, "Oh, I stopped at the post office and I got your stuff that you mailed, like his clothes and stuff that he mailed."
Mm-hmm.
And they zoomed in on the address, and the address shown was not the same address as where the apartment building that she's in. And I don't know how they connected all of this. I didn't ask because I didn't care, because honestly, it doesn't matter, because apparently the address on the boxes comes back to like a single family home somewhere in the area.
I can imagine that's for safety reasons.
Yeah.
Like and we know better that they don't want their address out there for you people.
Right. So either the apartment that they're filming in could be an Airbnb. The place that she had the packages sent was like maybe her daughter's place or a producer's place, or, something like she said she stopped at the post office and got them. I don't know, ultimately it doesn't matter, AT&T. TLC loves to use Airbnbs. She could have just moved there from her other place. Maybe they were sent to her old address, and this is her new address, this new apartment, and that's why there's no furniture, because she has to go to storage and get it. Who knows? There's 8 million reasons that don't matter. Anyway, so I like the apartment. I thought it was cool. You could do a lot with it, but leave the guy coffee at least.
Knowing him, they could probably walk down the street and get a small cup or something for a good $15 wherever she lives. But
yeah. So, and spoiler alert, we know that they're married too. So yeah. So that's it. Anything else?
No, that's all she wrote. This episode.
That's all she wrote. Thank you guys for joining us. If you like what you're hearing, please go like, review, subscribe. That helps us out. It helps us a lot more than you know. And if you've got any hot tips for us, please feel free to reach out to us on Instagram. I am Frauded Media, at Frauded Media.
And you can find me at 90 Day Fiance today on Instagram.
Right. And reach out to us. Let us know your thoughts on the show. Comment under this post on Instagram, or whatever. Reach out to us somehow. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. If you want to hear us talk about Bears All, this week's Bears All, which We're covering that over on our Patreon. That's patreon.com/thefraudcast. $3 a month. All of that can be yours too. You can hear all of our thoughts and discussions on what is being shared on 90 Day Fiance Bears All, which is being aired over on Discovery Plus. So thank you guys for joining us. We are the Fraudcast, and we're dumpster diving so you don't have to.